You are being programmed.
You would have to be living under a rock to not see the "We Stand With Ukraine." The blue and gold is everywhere in the press. It's a ritual, basically. Now we see it adorning, it being lighting up on buildings all around this realm. You can see a few that I've posted in the video. Now this video is just going to be all about the things that I see on what the blue and the gold and all this means. Basically, I started in my Remnants of Yana's video where I showed you who the flag and actually the Ukraine flag belongs to. Now I'm going to actually emphasize this more, that it's tied to the Sumerians, and I'm going to use advertisement. I'm just going to show you basically what's going on in this crazy head. So, you know, buckle up, hopefully you'll get it. I mean, for instance, look at this advertisement, "We Stand With Ukraine." Just look at it, look at the eyes. What does it remind you of? Now, I've obviously talked to you about Sumeria. Now, does that not remind you of this? To me, it does. Whether it's accidentally or ritualistically done on purpose, who knows? But I see the Sumerian eyes in that advertisement. Crazy, isn't it? Another one that I found, "Prosperous and strong, Ukraine will win." Just look at it. You have a hand clenched as a flower, and you have a hand, basically the FU, and all the fingers cut off. Well, isn't the flower remind you of a Sumerian seal? It does to me. People could say I'm stretching it, but you know, if they don't do it, no, someone else will. Now, it has two fingers up. Now in Sumeria and Egypt, a measurement was a finger was 1.65 centimeters. Not the actual length of the finger, but you know, in measurement terms. If you do 1.65 times 2, because there's two fingers showing, an FU, you get 3.3. So basically, two fingers up, the FU is basically, 33. Where have you seen that number before? Well, coincidentally, the Ukrainian alphabet has 33 letters. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, when you look at it, what made me laugh is the I for Ionos and Janos look like an 11. But look at the Z. It's 3 with a little 3, so it's 33. The president's name begins with a Z, so it's 33. I just laughed at that. And as you know, you guys have got Biden, and Biden seeks 33 billion war chests to support Ukraine. Zelensky wants quick approval. Well, look at another advertisement. It's showing you yellow and blue on the clock, on the watch, and 11 in the background of the vodka. And obviously the hand is Shiva, which is connected to Janos, and it's always at that position. So when you get advertisements, it's always near that 10-10 position. Another ritual. I just had to share that with you when I saw it. And this video, I'm just going to be doing the usual stuff that you all, you know, all you guys enjoy, because it just excites me and I love, you know, delving into it. And look, "We Stand With Ukraine" that I used at the beginning with a white dove. That is a symbol associated with Inanna and Ishtar. Again, more Sumerian links. So I want to share a few more. We have Ukraine welcomes back 33 soldiers and 12 civilians. Emphasise on the 33 soldiers. Russian Su-33 fighter filmed dancing towards ground after Ukrainian strike. Again, 33. 33 letters for Ukraine. A fresh type challenge is launched on Instagram to show solidarity with the Ukraine. Now this is my point. Look at the Z. It's 33. Yes, it's pronounced with a 3, but when you're looking at it on the alphabet, it's showing 33. Could it just be that simple? Could it? That the 33 or the 3 represents the Z as it's showing? Because if you think about it, a lot of the tanks and Russian armaments have Z painted all over them. And I'm just going to show you a couple now. So there's so many theories on what this could be, but could it just be as blatant as it's 33, showing the reference to, you know, Masonic number? Could it be? Some speculate that the Z could stand for Zapad, which means west in Russian. Others have said, could it stand for words such as Zopa, meaning ass, in reference to the Ukrainian resistance? The Ukrainians say the Z is from Nazism because it shows a Z from a concentration camp in 1943 called Station Z, where mass killings took place. So the Ukrainians are saying that the Z is a Nazi flag, when their own people and the so-called far right use the same symbol. So is it the case of that is it's a Nazi symbol, the swastika, and it's also 33? People will be screaming, oh, well, the president's holding up a football top with the swastika on. Here we go. Some say it's false. It's been done by CGI, photoshopped. I can't say if it has or it's not, but I can't lie and say I've not saw it. What ties this all together, guys, and summary again, is Enki's daughter is called Nancy, which is also pronounced Nazi. She is the goddess of social justice and divination. I can't say that word. And people are asking, well, how does Sumerian link? The Sumerian ancestors were supposedly come from the Ukraine in a place called Arata. So that is what ties all the Ukrainian and Sumerian stuff together. So guys, there you have it. The Z on the army tanks could be 33. They could be donning the cap, tilting the cap to show the Masonic nature, or it could be what the people have suggested. But I just found it fascinating with the Sumerian link and the swastika coming from Rata, especially in the Ukraine. It seems to be all connected. It's up to you guys, see what you think. So we know the cabal love the fountain of youth treatment, the adrenochrome, etc. Now, is this a reason why this war's going on? I found this online, and it's talking about Ukraine is the world's forefront of fetal stem cell therapy. It's the first fetal stem cell treatment in humans occurred at the National Medical University of Ukraine, the world's first centre to use fetal stem cells for therapeutic purposes in humans, the world's first ever fully licensed fetal stem cell bank in Ukraine, and the world's largest fetal stem cell therapy clinic. It just makes you think, and I wanted to check, is this correct? Because obviously there's so much stuff going around, and as soon as I put it in, bang bang, I'm getting loads of places for fetal stem cells and the use on humans. So yeah, what the people saying here is correct, and it just makes you think, is this one of the reasons? Because is it a cover up? Is it a battle between cabals? Who knows? Because the world is a strange place, and we know, there's an adrenochrome shortage and different things. Are they using stem cells? It just made me go wow. And it's on about the Ukraine babies in stem cell probe. Healthy newborn babies may have been killed in Ukraine to feed a flourishing international trade in stem cells. Evidence obtained by the BBC suggests it. It's the BBC, I know. Disturbing video footage of post-mortem examinations on dismembered tiny bodies raises serious questions about what happened to them. Ukraine has become the self-styled stem cell capital of the world, and this is in 2006, and the 12th of December. All them numbers add up to 11. It's funny enough, isn't it? But it makes you think, and that's all I ever, to do from my videos. And it goes on to say, the BBC has spoken to mothers from the city of Kharkiv who say they gave birth to healthy babies only to have them taken away by maternity staff. In 2003, the authorities agreed to exhume around 30 bodies of fetuses and full-term babies from a cemetery used by the maternity hospital number 6. One campaigner was allowed into autopsy to gather video evidence. She has given that footage to the BBC and the Council of Europe. In this report, the council describes a general culture of trafficking of children snatched at birth and a wall of silence from hospital staff upwards on their fate. And it goes on, the picture shows organs, including brains, have been stripped and some bodies dismembered. It's horrific. And we saw the posts of people saying Russia's invaded and found graves of children and different things. And then you've got the other side saying the Russia's, bombed hospitals and stuff. You can just see the shadiness that's going on. And is this a reason why this is going on? Because of the stem cell use in humans? Is this a way of keeping aging down. Who knows? I'm not a scientist, but when we all put these things together, it just raises alarm bells, doesn't it? And, greater minds need to investigate this more. So as I was looking into this stem cell a little bit, I'm not in depth, I came across this. Janus-like stem cells spur radical growth or radial growth. And as you know, I researched Janus a bit and I was just intrigued. So I clicked on all the links and I was getting things like this. The Janus-based biofabricated cardiac patch contained HIP-SC with a high orientation index due to be verified, and then obviously 3D by printing of stem cell laden cardiac patch. Basically, for anyone on myocarditis or cardiacs, they are making a patch that supposedly, allegedly helps with that. Or, guys, or could it be the fact that this is just a way out there theory, there's nothing in it, but what if people who use nicotine patches are not actually using nicotine patches, but these Janus cardiac patches, which could induce cardiac or myocarditis, along with, what we know causes this myocarditis. Obviously, I can't say it in the video, but it just makes you think. I mean, I've showed you that the pandemic was to Janus. I showed you the cardiac arrest was a ritual to Cardia, Janus's lover. And then you're telling me they're calling it a patch supposedly to treat that. Janus cardiac patch, basically both of them in it. I was wow when I had seen that yesterday. I was so excited that I had to post it on my social media, and I even posted it in the community that you saw. And this is all around Janus and nanoparticles and different things and stem cells. And we just know what's going on, especially in regards to the Ukraine and what I've showed you so far in other videos. Tell me that's not a wow. I mean, there's even a Janus adhesive tape, as you can see, and it talks about free chains and dangling chains, like it's tying us down. Would they, or are they using this adhesive tape as the backing for the patch? But it's all coincidence, guys, isn't it? We've even had world leaders going over to the Ukraine in wartime. Here's Boris again, look, oh, a blue tie. Then we had Nancy Pelosi, oh, in blue. Even the Ukraine president's even wearing the same clothes. I mean, has he got any wardrobe? But what video would it be of mine if he didn't have any 11s? Here's one that it claims that the Russians raped an 11-year-old boy. 11 attacks repelled in the Donbass region. Ukraine war, boy 11 flees to safety in Slovakia by himself. Again, 11. Ukraine suspend 11 political parties with links to Russia. It's an accident, this 11. 11 ways to pray during the crisis in Ukraine. Not 10, but 11. Oh, 11 books to help you understand the war in Ukraine from the Economic Forum. 11 million people displaced in Ukraine, and the date of the article adds to 11. Just an accident, that, guys. Ukraine says Russian forces have abducted 11 MERS. EU-Canadian fundraising drive raises nearly 11 billion. And the 47th day of the war in the Ukraine happens to land on the 11th of April. And 47 is 11. And 11th of April is also the 101st day of the year. Another 11. Right, guys, so what we're looking at now is the spell etymology, or the etymology of the flag, the colour of Ukraine, blue and yellow, or blue and gold. So blue, adjective of the colour of the clear sky, circa 1300. Sky coloured, also livid, lead coloured, from Old French blow, blue, pale, pallid, wan, light coloured, blonde, is yellow, discoloured blue, blue-grey, from Frankish blau or some other Germanic source, from Proto-European Bauaz, search of Old English blau, Old Saxon and Old High German blau and Swedish blau. This is pie, pel was light coloured blue, blonde, yellow, from root behel. You got it. So blue is also blonde and yellow, gold. It's interesting, but look at the root, behel, to shine, flash, burn, also shining white, and forming words for bright colours. here's something more on Behel. So guys, you can see how interesting it gets when you get to Behel or Behel. To shine, flash, burn, shining white and Verdi's bright colours. So it includes a lot of colours. The blue is named after a lot of colours. But the Behel, derivatives include blue, bleach, blind, blonde, blanket, black, flagrant and flame. Suffix from Behel, O, beluga, Russian Belyai, white, Beltane from Scottish, Gaelic, Bealtanin from Old Irish, Beltane, fire of Bel, ten, as you can see that, from Tep, from Bel, name of pagan Irish deity, akin to the Gaulish divine name Belanos, from Celtic Bel. So you can just see how crazy the colour blue is. So basically blue goes to the root Behel, which covers a lot of colours, but also it means Bel. And Bel is also, in some places, associated to Baal. And a few other things that I'm going to mention now. So it's just intriguing, isn't it, guys? It just makes you, you know, your mind go, wow. So obviously the colours that we're talking about in the flag, blue and gold. And the root of blue is Behel. Right guys, I'm not going to delve too much into Bel because obviously I want to make this a short video. But Marduk was later known as Bel. It derived from the Semitic word meaning Baal or Lord. So you can just see that connection. Again, that's Sumerian, Mesopotamia, Akkadian connection. So it's crazy. But also you have a Celtic connection. The fires of Bel come from Beltane and is likely referred to the Celtic god Belanus. So you can just see again how just in two things you've got a separate entity, and obviously you have Belanus was the festival was held on May the 1st, May Day. So you can just see how wide ranging it is and why I don't want to delve too far into this because obviously it's at hours. And others believe that it's basically a syncretization of Enlil, Marduk and the dying god Dumizud. That is basically what Bel, meaning Lord, is. And that's from the 1st millennium BC. So you can see how wide-ranging it is. And if you're wondering what that word means, it means to attempt to unite and harmonise. So they just basically put three gods into one. But if we look at it a little bit different or really, really basic, which is easiest for me. If you look at Bel, means Lord or signifies Lord or Master. It's a title rather than a genuine name. What if the blue and the gold or the blue and yellow of Ukraine just means a nod to the lords and masters? It's an easy as that because when you look at me Janus Remnants of Tartary video, I show you just how that flag is related to Enlil and Enki, the two brothers. So I'll show you that right at the end and then you can see why I had to make this video. And as you know guys, I like to be fair, and this person who wrote this, you know, snippet that I've took off disagrees with basically Baal and Bel coming from that. So Beli Moar, some Welsh traditions make him father of the gods and brother of Bran the Blessed. His name derives from the Brittonic and Gaulish Belanus, Latinized as Belanus. Many still mistakenly link his name to the Old Irish Baal, but latter derives from Proto-Celtic Belios sacred tree, Pi, Behel, to thrive, to bloom. So it also means that, while Belanus derives from a different Proto-Indo-European Behel, meaning to shine, flash and burn, many erroneously believe that the root of Baal in Beltane, modern English Beltane, is the name of the Irish god. The Baal in Beltane is simply an adjective. The word derives from the Proto-Celtic compound Belatania, but Belos tenia, bright fire. Among the most absurd interpretations of Beltane or Beli is the belief that it is derived from the Phoenician Canaanite god Baal. So this person disagrees with all the other etymologies, and you know I like to show that some people think differently. So let's look at the other half of the flag. We've done blue, now yellow. Yellow comes from the Proto-Germanic Galwaz of Old Saxon, meaning yellow, but it comes from the root Gehel, which appeared also on blue. So you had Behel and you had Gehel, both on blue and yellow, and it means to shine. and denoting green and yellow. But let's look at gold. So precious metal, noted for its colour, lustre, malleability and freedom from rust or tarnish. Old English gold from Proto-Germanic gulden gold. And it also from the Pi root gehel, and I'm going to show you what that means. It means to shine, which derivatives denoting gold, that bright metal. So here we go, here's gehel. So gehel meaning Proto-Indo-European root meaning to shine. It forms words for gold, that bright metal, words denoting colours, especially yellow and green, also bile and gall for its colour, and a large group of Germanic GL words having to do with shining and glittering and perhaps sliding. Book says the interchange of words for yellow and green is perhaps because they were applied to the vegetation like grass, cereals, etc., which changed from green to yellow. So that's one explanation for gehel. The other explanation for gel comes from the Proto-Indo-European root meaning to call. It forms part of nightingale, yelp. In the hypothetical source of evidence for existence is provided by the Greek meaning thrush, also a kind of fish, Chaldean, the swallow, Lithuanian gulbinti, to praise, Old English galan, to sing, galdor, spell, charm, magic, enchantment, gillian, to yell, gilpin, to boast. That's crazy. So now you have another meaning for gold and the root of yellow and gold, and basically most colours that shine or bright. Part of the spell, enchantment. That is very intriguing. So it's intriguing, that wasn't it? Gehel and behel, showing you in regard to blue and gold, or blue and yellow, meaning Lord. Let's look at gold again a bit more in detail, because what I found later on in the etymology blew me away. So I'll just miss out the root stuff and talking about Slavonic stuff, because it doesn't really tell you much. It's the last bit that blew me away. So from Homer on through Middle English, red often is given a characteristic colour of pure gold, or objects made from it. This is puzzling, but it might stem from an ancient practice of testing the purity of gold by heating it. In Middle English, red gold was pure gold. Nay, even more than this, often gold is subjected to the action of fire. The more refined in quality it becomes, indeed, fire is the one test of its goodness, as which, submitted to intense heat, gold ought to assume a similar colour and turn red within appearance. This is crazy. So they're talking about how to test the purity of gold, which is yellow, now it could mean red. So if you change the flag from yellow and blue to blue and red, you automatically go, wow, because we know what those colours represent, and a few of them are like most of the political parties, logos, everything. There is a lot associated with red and blue, obviously in Matrix, red pill, blue pill. So you can just see how my mind's working now when they're saying about actually the colour of gold in that period of time was measured by its purity, meaning red. So if it didn't turn red, it wasn't pure. And we're talking about blue and yellow coming from Behel and Gehel, which means Lord and Master, Baal, Bel. So we're talking about people who think they are regal, which red and blue make purple. So you can just see how excited I am, and hopefully that comes through. I might not be making too much sense, but I just thought that was intriguing that even gold was known to be red. No, that's just wow. That's just wow. So talking about all those colours in the etymology and different things about the flag, it got me thinking about this. And you might be wondering, why has he got the symbol for Christianity, the fish, on the screen? And it'll make sense. So obviously that is based on the Viscus Pisces, or Picus, how you want to pronounce it. It got me thinking, what's all the colours we're supposed to be able to see in red, green and blue? And just look on the screen. Those are the colours that I've been talking about today. But look, slap back dang in the middle, you have the Vatican flag, yellow and white, and it makes the fish symbol. But that fish symbol is also associated with, obviously, the brothers that I'm talking about in this, in regard to Enki and Enlil. One of them is of the sky, one of them is of the sea. And obviously you can associate the yellow with the sun in the sky or the ground, and obviously the blue, the sea. I just found it fascinating. I just really do. And I get excited, as you can see. I'm easily encourageable. So I'm going to finish this short video by just reiterating this from an old video, because it shows you the Ukrainian flag, basically the crest. And on the right, it was a term, Khazarian tamga, which is a seal. I mean, even if you look really deep into it, you can actually see it looks like a fish symbol on the the Khazarian tamga. But anyway, I was talking about how could this represent two faces, and it got me thinking, could it in fact be the brothers Enki and Enlil looking at each other like a Janus aspect? Because that's what I was talking about in the video. And it just got me to thinking, yeah, it really, really does. Now, what's interesting is I found a war sigil symbol for Enlil. Now, obviously, you would think of Enki, the water god, having a trident, and obviously how he's also been linked to Poseidon, of it carrying the trident. Maybe it was a god thing. Well, Enlil's got a symbol for war, and it's a trident, and it's coming up in a minute. But when you do look at it, it does represent what we're seeing as the crest of the Ukraine. So this is more ties in with like the Sumeria and the Ukraine. As you can see, the emblem of war god Enlil. And it doesn't take much to look at that, it is what I'm saying. But what also made me go wow is, from all videos that I've done the research, there's an IYI symbol, and it's used in Europe, and it's a symbol used for God or something godly. And I'm going to put it on the crest, and you actually find it in the Vatican too, on the holy door of St. Peter, which is Peter, which is Janos, and it represents Jesus getting crucified. You can see it. It matches perfectly. So you can see the connections that I've showed you. But what interesting is, errata that we're talking about, like the folklore Sumerian home world, basically anagrams to Tartar. And obviously, one aspect of the Tartars came from there. People that disagree, and it's this and this. But as you can see, it just makes you go, wow, that the Sumerian mythical homeworld of errata, they say has been found, anagrams to Tartar. It just made me go think. And like I said, this video was just a short video on the Ukrainian ritual and all the evidence that I've showed you inside this video. So hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed making it.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello and welcome. Right, guys, you're getting the thoughts. Woohoo! Everyone sounds enthusiastic in the chat. This wasn't planned, because I went across X amount. So what I normally do is, in my head, if I make a short video, I don't do a thoughts, because we're in the chat, we're saying hello, the video's finished. And this was in between what I call short, and I thought, you know what, it's long enough for a thoughts, so you get in it. So firstly, I would like to say, how do I put this, because it's emotional. Really close member of the Flockers, called Ginger Grin. I doubt she'll be in the chat, but she's been with this channel, and she's been with the other channel from near the beginning, so she's a close member of what we call the Flockers, and a good friend, and she's lost someone very close to her, and she let me know in the week, so it's emotional. So my heart goes out, and Steve, the Bear Wheatley in the chat, we'd like to say that also. So onwards and onwards. Sorry for that, but we're all close members, aren't we? Right, so on with the video. I mean, where do you go from that now? It's me. I'm a soft sod, as they say. So I wanted to do a video about what I saw going on in the Ukraine, but with my usual twist. And I think I've done that. And as we know, a lot of people have done videos on the blue and the yellow, blue and the gold and different things, and Ukraine. But like I said, I want to do it different with my little unique twist, and I've done that. And hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's not maybe answered a lot of questions, but a lot of answers, but he's given us more questions. And some of the things do make sense. Is it a ritual? Yes. And people wondering, what do you mean in a ritual? Well, a ritual means a series of actions basically performed in a prescribed order. So they've done the things in a unique order. We've had, for the last couple of years, we've had the pandemic, lockdowns and whatnot, and then this. Now, people will say this was being brought in so they could actually increase this, bring in different types of social laws and different things, and that's basically what they're doing. They're taking more utilities away from us in the sense of food, gas, water, all this thing, because, there's a war there, so prices have to rise. And obviously it hits the working man, the poor person, more than it does the so-called elites, which again is a ritual. So our jobs being in the community is to show our different unique perspectives, to show people this is what's going on. I didn't think about that before. So if we all have a unique perspective, it shows things that more people on the spectrum might be able to see, and that's why I love having a different opinion and seeing the different opinions, but respecting people for them. So a few weeks ago, I did a video about Tartary, remnants of Janos, being showing you how connected Janos is to Tartary, and people can see that it's been well viewed. It's been one of my better videos, so thank you for all the people that shared that. And at the end, I was just showing you how the Ukrainian flag symbol, crest, logo, emblem, the sigil, whatever you want to call these things, matches Khazarian tamga, which is a seal. Which it does. You don't have to go way out there. It's like, I think there's only a little bit, and it's nigh on identical. So I showed that could those two, like spear things, be two faces of Janos. But because of Janos' oldest name linking it to Ea, Ea and Enki and different things, I was wondering, are the two faces the brothers, Enki and Enlil, that are basically the fight? So I then found a sigil, a war emblem for Enlil. Now, as we know, Enki is god of the sea, and obviously wisdom and different things taught humans this and this. But you would think him being god of the sea tied to other gods like Poseidon would have the trident. Maybe that's just a god thing, they all have a trident. Because Enlil had a trident and it fits perfectly into what the Ukrainian flag could be. And in a sense of, if that was the only thing, I could see people saying that is a stretch. But then when you tie into the ancient homeland of the Sumerians being Arata, and that's in the Ukraine, has that got anything to do with the war? Because if it is two abiding forces of the brothers in whatever format they want to look at, are they going head to head? Because when we always look at things in this reality, we see the evil, we see the bad, and then we're swamped by it, and then suddenly we'll see it being exposed. And obviously in this community, if you have any discernment, you don't jump onto one of these truths, because sometimes they are double-edged sword truths, meaning they're there to expose certain communities and different things. But when we see things getting released that go against the narrative, and it's like in our favour, is this another organisation? Is this just people fighting together on a global scale? Hence, like the two brothers, the two factions fighting like brothers do. So you could say, yeah, that would be a stretch. But then when you tie in Arata being in the Ukraine, that Arata being an anagram for Tatar, you go, that does make more sense. Then when you tie into how in that area now they're using the Z, and people are from both sides accusing each other of being neo-Nazis. And again, a Sumerian god called Nazi or Nancy. Again, there is another link. I think she was a god of social justice, if I remember from my video. And when we look at the Russian alphabet being 33 letters, we notice Z is 33. Well, it's 3, but they put the extra little 3 down. Now, people say, well, they don't say 33. It's not about that. It's a logo, it's a spell, it's an emblem, it's a sigil. Because you're looking at it, and when you look at it, the alphabet, you'll see, Z, and you'll see 2 3s, 33. So then, as soon as you think of 33, you think of all the Masonic nature of 33. That's the power of a sigil. So we're talking about President Zelensky being 33. And it's not a far stretch to say they're all in the club. He's an actor, and we see all the stuff that's been posted on social media. And when I posted that, I know people say, well, he's been spotted with a SWAT sticker on a football top, and we know what SWAT sticker comes from, you know what I mean? So that's not the case, but these things have been altered. Now, has it been altered for or against? And that's why I put both the pictures in together to show you. It's up to you guys what you believe was actually on it. But the SWAT sticker does come from Arata also. I'm not saying originally, but I'm just saying they have it on the logo, and that's why I included it on the bit of the apostrophe in the images. So they have a SWAT sticker type of shape. Got a frog in my throat now from getting emotional. So I just had to post all these links that I've seen it's in the ritual, seeing what's going on, why are they invading. I'm sorry for coughing like that. I'm not restarting again. I'll be here all day. So when we look at it, people are saying, I don't get involved in is Putin good, Putin bad. Putin's going in there to save the world. He's doing this, doing that. I don't get involved in any of that. People can make their own minds up on that. I'm just talking about how it is, in effect, a ritual. I believe you don't get to the top if you're not on a side. Do you know what I mean? And common sense will tell you that. People get replaced. You can see images of people being replaced, and it's not the same person. That is, you can't get around that. So these are just things to bear in mind, and what is actually going on while invading. Is it all about the minerals? Is it all about the gold? Because you do get a lot of gold, silver in these areas. And could it just be about the mining rights? Or is it about control? Is it about getting back a place they class as their homeland? Or is it an ulterior motive that even I don't know, which is probably likely, and some people will be in the chat will say it's this, this and this. I just find it fascinating that Ukraine is the human stem cell capital of the world. There's got to be something in that. When we did say Russia say that they were invading and bombing biolabs, we then had the other side saying no, there's no such thing as biolabs. So that's where you get your backward and forward. There's no biolabs. Yes, there is biolabs. There's proof. No, that's not proof. You know what I mean? So you can see my point. I didn't want to post that and go backward and forwards. So we'll leave it up to the people what they believe. But one thing you cannot say is you know, is factual, is the capital of the you know, the human stem cell. And then you see old nearly 20-year-old articles stating that they've been testing on babies and different things, and obviously being a father, and you know, got a model eye standing that I didn't like to post that, but I had to, just to show you that people are going around, we are in support of Ukraine. Well, do you actually know what's going on in there? Would you support this if you knew that was going on? And I'm not a channel to say you can't do this, you can't do that, because I believe in free speech. That's what we all supposedly fight for. So I wouldn't be a channel to say, guys, if you believe this, don't watch me. I'm never like that. You can, you know, as long as you respect and no trolling, you can believe in whatever you want, because we're all that unique perspective. But certain things, like when children get involved, and is this actually a made up story? I mean, I don't think it is, because it stems in. That was no pun intended. So if you think about it, if these articles correct, people were given birth 20 years ago and the baby's been taken off them for this stem cell research and selling. We know the link with adrenochrome. And what some people don't look into is, I did a video on adrenochrome. It's on my Black Sheep research on Odyssey if you want to watch it. Is that the chemical formula for adrenochrome, or the you know, that goes in the EpiPens and different things, and the so-called formula that they show adds up to 9, and in Masonic circles 9 is the number for human immortality. So is it a case of are they battling out for the so-called fountain of youth? Is tech or weapons hidden in these ancient cities that we still don't know today? Because if Errata is from there, and obviously Errata, Inanna, that was her home base, and she's known as the Queen of Heaven and Earth, isn't she? She had the Mies. If you're wondering what the Mies are pronounced Mays, but they were basically, some of them were spiritual, some of them were laws, but they were a basic our connection to the gods. The more Mies that you had in your town, your city, the more it prospered. And it's funny that, like I said, years ago I did a video on the Sumerian MEs being what people call about the Mandela effect. Mandela effect, ME, Sumerian Mies, the effect, language, music, places that all the stuff's happening to. Why do people not look into it? Well, we know certain people in the community are fixed agendas. So she was one who, basically, if I remember the story, she wanted all the Mies. I think she got 90 odd, if I remember. I can't remember the exact figure. And she was like the queen. She had a lot of them. Did she take a lot of them back to their home base, and that's why it was prosperous? Who knows? So that's just something. Are they looking for that? But this fountain of youth could, in a sense of not just be adrenochrome, but this stem cell. Like I said, I'm no scientist. I don't pretend to be. But is there something that these stem cells can do to reverse aging? Who knows? I just found it highly fascinating that that's the capital of the stem cell. The shady shenanigans that's been going on, that's been in newspaper clippings about taking babies, and seeing stories recently in the press that Putin's invading and he's found mass graves and child trafficking and different things. So this is a big deal. Whether you believe in it or not, if it is true, if there's a slight possibility it's true, we have to alert people by talking about it, and hopefully people open their eyes to it, but not be force fed. Because obviously this is just my opinion on what I've found, and it does get you emotional sometimes, especially when you have children. So could it be something in regard to that? That's why they invaded. Is there another agenda that I've not talked about? Probably, but I only wanted to make it a short video, and I didn't want add. You know what I mean? Because I do get carried away. So you can see so far the Sumerian link. And all, even the dove is starting to appear, and that's a symbol for peace, but it's also a symbol for Inanna and Ishtar from the Akkadian type, and her own place, as I've just stated, is in the Ukraine. It's just crazy how we see these things, isn't it? And when you see one link, it may be stretching it, 2 links, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and off you go. And obviously this is down to opinions. Got to need your nose down. You can just see my point. I'll leave it at that. So what I found intriguing then about the stem cells is the bit I found on the Janice patch. As you know, I got really excited, and it got posted on social media. I just can't help myself, guys. I just found that fast. Like I said, Janice is connected to a lot. Is it just a case of the user's name? Sometimes, yes, it is. But remember, words are spells. So if there is a so-called cabal and evil out there, they will get his name onto things that matter to them. It is a ritual performed in a prescribed order. So think about it. You're talking about Janos being linked to all these gods. He's also Zeus. Remember, Zeus split humans down the middle. We used to have 2 heads. Sounds like Janos. You know what I mean? So and that was the so-called soulmate. But it just makes you think, doesn't it? So the Janus patch, wow, stem cell, and then there's also a cardiac patch for cardiac arrest and what is going on in the myocarditis. Now, I've showed you so many times, and people will remember on this channel, but if you're watching it for the first time, I've showed you the pandemic is all a ritual to Janus, from the testing procedure to wearing masks, making you two-faced, through to specific places being in lockdown. For instance, the first time to go back in re-lockdown years ago, when it was in the news and it was all over the news, were Leicester, which has the only remaining Janus temple. That's just a coincidence. And then I did notice significant places going in lockdown. It had arches. Now, not just like any arch, significant arches, because obviously that's how they draw their energy. And I think at the time, the first place to go in lockdown abroad was in Melbourne, and it was a flat space, like a Y for Janus, and also the address was 33. So there was all those connections just to show you how deep it goes. And then there was, when they swab you, they send you your sample over to a machine called Janus, but that's just a coincidence. And all the links that I've showed you since. Then, obviously, there was the cardiac arrests. Cardiac is Janus's female lover, Cardia. That's where all this is named after, cardiac. Cardinal directions, cardinal in the church, all from Cardia. So I showed you that. Then they're releasing a patch to treat that with both names in. That stinks to me like a ritual. Now, what's intriguing me is, because I like to just throw it out there, it doesn't mean it's fact, but are these patches causing, actually I know obviously in, because I can't say it, you know, these sites like YouTube will take you down, but obviously in the vaccines it's giving people that the myocarditis. But think about it, if if you want to actually put it into smoking patches, you know, that's just a sinister way. And, you know, maybe that is a stretch, but, you know, I like to just think it, because someone will be thinking it in the chat when I said they're making a patch. So I have to, you know, preempt it and put it in the video. That just blew me away. And obviously they've made a Janus adhesive tape. So could they actually be using that tape on that? And these things are just coincidence. So this is what gets me excited when I'm finding these links. Because again, it's just a link on your opinion. But it's interesting, it's intriguing, and it's showing you the bigger picture for yourself. A lot of people can see that now. A lot of people are seeing 11s, a lot of people are seeing Janus, and they're messaging me to tell me. And they've never saw it before. Because obviously once you see the Janus, it opens a door. No pun intended. So that was just intriguing, wasn't it? That. And then, so these things are just racing your head. Why are they going to war? Is it all over this stem cell, the fountain youth? Do you want to control that? Do you want to keep them young? Is it the trafficking ring? Is it stuff for adrenochrome? What is it they're fighting? Is it all of the above? Is it just because they can? Is it because it's the homeland? You know, so that makes you think, doesn't it? And then we look at the colours. Blue and yellow, blue and gold. And I will admit, because I like to pay, obviously I don't know the name, but hopefully they'll still watch me. A long time ago, someone said to me that Behel is tied to Baal and Lord and Master in regard to blue. I can't remember what I was doing the video on, but I do remember a comment on it, and it always stuck with me, and that was a few years ago. So if that person remembers that comment, thank you very much. I just, for so long ago, I didn't write you the name down, but I always like to show me appreciation for anything that people suggest that I use in videos, whether it's years later. But, you know, I'm slow on the uptake sometimes. So that always stuck to my mind. And like I said, I've not watched other people's videos on it. Have they talked about that link? And obviously the blue is linked to like being bright, shiny and all that. But it just makes you go, they're fighting in Ukraine. The flag for both blue and yellow, blue and gold, Behel and Gehel is used. And it's Lord and Master. And I'm talking about the two brothers. That makes you go, It did to me. And so thank you for that person. It's so intriguing, isn't it? And then obviously you see different etymologies, and you could go all there because there's different Proto-European, Slavic, you know what I mean? So you could go on for days and days and days. And then I found out another etymology for, was it Gehel, meaning magic, a charm, a spell. And we see how this blue and gold is everywhere. Normally it is blue and red, but when we go on the news now, it's like under the clock and different things, you will see blue and yellow everywhere. Because it's a spell. It's a sigil. People are subliminally seeing blue and yellow, and now they're automatically attaching it to Ukraine. You can't even go to the supermarkets over here, and when you pay, would you like to donate to the Ukrainian so it's everywhere. Yet when other countries are at war and being invaded and bombed, nothing gets said. Because this is a ritual, and they don't want people to know about the other things. Because this is the way this evil realm works, isn't it? They only want to show you what they want to show you, and it's up for us to dig and show. Can you imagine if I didn't show my Janos stuff? How would it be then? Because that is a key part to this realm, in my opinion. And people are now starting to see it, and people on channels, podcasts are starting to mention it. And they can see. It's not the answer, it's just a different answer to a question that fits a lot of things. So you have a scenario where the blue and gold is everywhere. The blue and gold means Lord and Master. It means other things as well, obviously. But could it be just that? Two brothers, two entities, two organisations, whatever way you look at it, two faces to Janos, are fighting. Is that why they call it Lord and Master? Because obviously blue is associated, it can be with the sky, obviously, blue sky, but also mainly the water. Enki, god of the water. Enlil, god of the sky, and obviously, would you say the ground, the heavens attached to the ground, gold, so the sun, or the gold in the ground, like the ichor, the blood. Makes you just go, and this is all I want to do in my videos. I want people to think, you know what, that's the point. Because we see a lot of channels with specific agendas trying to promote this, and this, and I always say, you know what, this is just my opinion. And in this video, I showed you an opinion of someone who disagreed with the etymology of Bel and Baal and Belanus and all that. So I had to show it, just so you can see people do disagree on a lot of things. That's why I always talk about the truth being an opinion, a perspective. That is itself a perspective. So it just makes you think, and then you do think, well, you looked at the etymology, and gold in ancient times was also referred to being red. That got me, that. We do know they melt gold and different things, and then when it heats up, it turns that type of red. But to associate the colour being red then makes you go, because we know everything is a lot of advertisement, political parties. You even go back to Sparta and Athens. It's everywhere, blue and red. So you could talk the blue buds, you could talk about the red being the ground, the Adam, the humans, who knows? Or you could just say it's two part of the brothers again. It just makes you go, and that's all I want in my video, to, you know what, I didn't know that. And that changed the perspective. Is it really yellow and gold that we're seeing, Lord and Master? Or is it just the old adage of the blue and the red butting heads again? Because you can go out there and look at everything and you'll see it is blue and red. And that's why I just put a few images on that. So that's all I really wanted to say. Like I said, I was excited about the Janos patch. excited about finding the etymology. I'm remembering that someone said blue is associated with bell, but also gold was associated with bell too, because both had the behel and gehel in it. So it just shows you how fickle the sense of language is when it's all associated. And I didn't put in because I won't stop giggling, but I have to mention it. I think it's gold and the gehel. Some part of that went to the etymology of bollocks. Don't ask me where it was, but there's no way I could have read that out with a straight face, because I know people, especially Steve in the chat, would be like a little kid and they would just make me worse. So yeah, you can see the etymologies, and sometimes people say, "Oh, that's a stretch. That's a stretch." It might be a stretch for you. That's all I say to people. It might be a stretch for you. It's not for me. I see it, and I'll show you alternatives all the way, because that's just who I am. I don't want to stick to an agenda. I just want to do a short little video showing you the significance of what I've seen in rituals in regard to 33s being sound out there. I mean, what's the odds of 33 being a Z and then that's been all over the tanks? You know what I mean? That just got to make you think, innit? And then a few of the 33 rituals that I sent, like Biden trying to get 33 billion sent over. And then all the 11s. Not 10, not 9, not 12, 15, but 11. It's part of the ritual. It's a part of using it as an FF type of event. Getting into you, but you don't see it. So people are seeing 11s everywhere now. And rightly so, because we're becoming awake to it. And again, hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for the emotional beginning, but you know, when people are a member of the family such as this channel for a long time, you know, it means a lot to me. So I had to say that. So hopefully she'll shout at me if she's in the chat. But if she is, you know, please all give her your love and your thoughts. Because we love to sit together on this channel, and I had to say that. And Steve would have killed me if he didn't mention his name, because he's known her for a long time also, and they have a good chat in the chat when I'm doing my videos. So there you go, Steve. I've mentioned you now. So it's just a nice little video showing you a few of the things that I've seen. And hopefully, guys, you appreciate that difference, what you've come to expect from this channel. I must say, I appreciate the support. Again, people don't get disheartened if I don't answer comments. As you know, YouTube do not like me seeing it. And it's getting to a stage where now I'm only seeing like 20%. It's going down and down and down, because the popularity of the channel is going up. And why is it going up? It's because of you guys. You've got me back. You're sharing my stuff. You're telling people, go and check this out. You're mentioning my name on other channels. So, you know, it's all down to you guys. And again, I can't thank you enough for it. You know, you're the bright spot in my day when I see people mentioning me. And please keep it up, guys. If you ever get taken down again, I restart again. It's a battle. And we'll always find each other. Oh my god, sound like a record. So yeah, guys, please, I appreciate the love and the support. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and stay safe, always wear a smile, and please pay it forward, guys. And I will see you in the chat. Bye guys, take care.